Good evening. Welcome to the 2020 Virginia Governor's Cup Wine Competition. My name's Jay Yeomans. I'm the competition director. This year we had a record number of wines submitted, 535 wines.
I'm Michael Franz, editor of Wine Review Online, as well as a restaurant consultant for the Clyde's Restaurant Group in DC, and an instructor at Capital Wine School. We've looked at some beautiful wines this year. Very nice Petit Manseng and Viognier. On the red side, very good Cab Franc and Meritage or Meritage style blends. All things considered, some real strengths on both the white and red side. Among the Cab Francs and blended wines, some really interesting stylistic profiles with fruit reminiscent of New World wines, but also some interesting savory tones more associated with European wines. So very nice sweet spot, fully ripe in many cases, but not big or overly fruity or pushy. Lots of interesting wines and still a good few to go today.
Hi, I'm Maria Denton. I'm the beverage director for the Old Ebbitt Grill and the Hamilton in DC. And this is my 9th year of judging, my second on the finalist judging round. And I got to tell you, the thing overall that really impresses me is how steadily every year Virginia wine just seems to improve. Like, this year was better than last year was better than the year before, and the variety of wines that we're getting, it's just really spectacular to see that. And as a Virginia resident, I'm really proud of our state.
The word I found myself writing today and yesterday frequently is elegant, and that's not something I've necessarily associated with Virginia wines before, and I think that's a positive development. It's as if the winemakers are becoming a little more comfortable in their craft, and they are not trying so hard to make a wine in the winery, but they're making it in the vineyard and letting the grapes speak for themselves.
The difference between Virginia and other East Coast states is that you can make a lot of different wines from different varieties, which are great, whereas some wine regions may be good for one or two grapes, whereas Virginia is good broadly for a lot of different grape varieties. And I'm particularly impressed with Petit Verdot, Viognier, with Petit Manseng. The dessert wines are world class. I think they're amongst the best in the world. In fact, personally, I put Virginia on par with Oregon and Washington in terms of quality and styles of wine. Well, actually, Virginia makes more European style wine, and that's something I love. For the first time in the history of judging for the Governor's Cup, I awarded one wine with a 100-point score. That's never happened before, and I'm really excited about that.
My name is Vanessa Moore. I own a couple of wine shops and a restaurant in Alexandria, Virginia. This is my first opportunity to taste for the Governor's Cup since over a decade. I've been very impressed by the gap that seems bridged between the sparkling wines and the dessert wines and everything else. Historically, as a judge, I recall that those wines were always impressive outliers, almost gimmies, if you will, for gold medals because of the way they're made. They tend to be very pronounced aromatically. It's been a lot of fun to see this year that there's a lot more going on in the middle, and I've enjoyed that.
And this, I think, is my 5th time judging the Governor's Cup, and I've found so much more confidence in the wines. It's not to say the wines lacked confidence before, but the wines I've been tasting are so much more representative of their grape varieties and also of their vineyards. There's much more vineyard personality coming through. I've been giving high marks in the 90s because I think some of my colleagues here will be a little more critical than I would have been. Because when I find a wine which has very good fruit, representative of its grape variety, and has a sense of place, I give it a high mark because I think that's all you can ask for it. And I don't know whether the vintages we're tasting have been particularly good vintages, but the quality of fruit is very good. The acidity is totally in balance. There's no exaggeration in oak. In fact, there's no exaggeration anywhere. The balance between fruit, acidity, oak, and tannins and whatever for reds and fruit acidity for whites is really impeccable. These wines are showing a confidence which I'm really impressed by.
Tonight we'll unveil the top 12 wines from Virginia, and I can't wait to find out who's going to be the Governor's Cup winner for 2020.